You know what I mean? It's like you can't. It's not that you're being insensitive to other people. It's that you're sharing the excitement with your life, and anybody who's worth their weight of anything should be able to celebrate with a friend despite what they're going through. And you know what I mean? Like you have to understand that even, you know, even in the midst of everything else, your story could be the hope for somebody else that, hey, look, everybody's not losing. That's the way I look at situations. And I also go back to the Bible, and the Bible says that God has no regard of person, meaning what he does for one, he'll do for the other. So if I see that God is blessing and moving other people in the midst of a pandemic right now, then I can look at my situation and say, maybe I'm not as bad off as others, but I know I'm still not where I want to be. So because God is blessing over here, there's no need for me not to step out on faith and trust that God's going to bless me over here. And then bam, I walk into that manifestation. So again, don't dim your light. The Bible says you don't light it, you don't turn on a lamp and put it underneath the table. No, you turn on the lamp and you put it on top of the table, on top of the tallest hill. That's the Bible. So it's not just for the people in the house, the people that are closest to you, your friends, your family, to see your light. But no, he says, put it on the top of the table, on top of the hill, so that those who are even abroad who are going through can see, look, it's dark around us, but look, if we just keep going, there's a light up there on that hill. And that light is hope.
And well, hey, everybody, what's going on? My name's Kyle Krieger, and I know you've heard a lot about me, and I have heard a lot about you this year. I am Mr. Law's business partner. We work together in Lighthouse Educator Development. We also do a podcast called Value Adds Value, and I heard that y'all are doing your podcast project starting this week. So what I'm trying to do this week is just throw a couple videos your way to try to help you out. Now, starting out, I did want to prove to you that Mr. Law, your teacher, is as good on the podcast as he is in real life. So I just showed you this little clip of kind of how we do this. So the first tip I would give you, and I'm going to try to give you one tip every day. And what I want you to look at, and I'm sharing my screen with you, is right now I'm in the same spot recording this video that I am in the video that you're seeing right in front of you. It's my basement. So tip number one is podcasts aren't fancy. They don't have to be fancy. You don't have to have a cool studio. You don't have to have fancy sound equipment. Mr. Law and I both use headphones just like this to do our recording and all that. It doesn't have to be fancy. Secondly, and most importantly, your voice is going to sound goofy to you. It's taking me probably 4 years to get used to what my voice sounds like when I listen back versus when I'm recording. You know, because that weird thing that our voice sounds different to us as we speak it versus when we listen to it on a recording. And third, it's just a conversation. So this project you're working on is just you all showing what you're learning, showing what you know via conversation. So don't take it serious. I mean, it's a serious project, but the conversation should flow. It should have a dynamic to it. I love the podcast medium. It is something that has brought so much good to my life. I love the idea of this project. So what I've told Mr. Law is I'm available to you all week. Mr. Law's got my emails. He's got my number. He can text me. I can get with you if you need some help or if there's anything you want to do. So tomorrow I'm going to show you a little bit of more of how we put the podcast together. But my first couple of tips are, it doesn't have to be fancy. Don't worry if your voice doesn't sound good or you don't think it sounds good. And just make it about the conversation. So again, my name's Kyle Krieger. It's super cool to be with you. I'm hoping to maybe live stream into a couple of your classes, but I hope everybody has a great Monday.